gonna just add the bros. I'm gonna go turn on Instagram. Hold on a
Nice.
sec.
Charlotte says hi. She made crepes for karate. Killer.
Oh, nice.
Can you guys hear us okay? We're just we're doing something new here today.
Boom.
Ba-boom. Finn's new word.
Ba-boom.
Ba-boom.
Okay, and we're rolling.
We're rolling. We are rocking and a rolling. Check. Nice. That seems to be working there.
Hey.
Okay, let's get this show on the road.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to February 20th, 2021. It's Karate in the Garage with Joe and Dave Landers from the Brothers Landers. We're making it official. We are recording a podcast. At least we're trying to.
Yeah, well, we'll record it and then hopefully we'll turn it into a.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
What's that all about, anyways?
I don't even know. We bought a second SM7. We mean business.
It's no joke, folks.
It's no joke.
We're deadly serious.
Deathly serious. It's been a heck of a week.
Yeah.
It's been a heck of a week. Started with a Monday, and it's going to end tomorrow with a Sunday. I mean, it depends on what kind of calendar you kind of subscribe to, because some people's calendar starts on Sunday.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of arbitrary.
They say God rested on the seventh day. God rested on Sunday. That's why we go to church on Sunday. Well, I don't go to church on Sunday, but why some go to church?
We kind of chill on Sundays too.
Yeah. So maybe
Sundays
Sunday is the last day. And I kind of think anybody who starts their calendar on a Sunday, I think you're doing it wrong.
Crazy person. Let me just look at this. Make sure we actually rolling here on Instagram. I'm not doing something weird. Yeah, there you go.
Nice. Okay.
Hey,
just letting folks on Instagram know that we can't see your comments. Oh no, we can. Because you've got it up on your.
I'm trying to get it up on my computer, but I'm having trouble finding it. So.
Right on. Well, it's great to see everybody. Thanks for joining us. Dan Runyon says, "Hi team. Hello, Dan. Dan and I are gonna connect and talk about guitars. We were gonna try and do it today, but we couldn't make it happen. And we're gonna do it next week."
I'm just trying to get the.
Evan says, "Lil boy baboom."
Little boy baboom.
Baboom, baboom.
My kid's got a new word this week. Finn says, baboom.
Baboom.
Baboom. Everything is baboom.
Hell yeah. There's like Finn has like kind of has like three definitive words, but they all change, but they represent different things. So there's bath, bap, with this which is bath and also sink.
Yeah, he loves baths. That's his favorite thing in the world.
And then there's ba, which is everything else. Mm-hmm. And then baboom, which I think is
kind of also everything else.
Yeah. But it does, like, you can, there's meaning in it.
Today he was going full on toddler jibber jabble, and he was making all kinds of crazy sounds that I've never heard before, and it was a blast. Yeah, and it's just like, it's kind of like that. One day it's just like they wake up and it's just like, holy smokes, I'm a whole other person with a million different words and skills, and it's just so overwhelming. It's such a blast.
That's fun. It reminds me of having cats.
Oh. Patty says, if you want proof that advertising works, for some reason I ended up buying a bunch of IKEA picture shelves on Monday. Yeah. So he's ripping off your pedal wall.
Oh, yeah, nice. I can't remember. That's the bamboo ones. There's 3. What is the Mosslanda, I believe. I like them.
Yeah. Green Spirit Massage asking, are those Manitoba made moccasins? I don't know.
I believe they are.
Yeah, your moccasins, I assume.
Oh yeah. Normally you can't see my feet, so I guess I should really be wearing grown-up shoes. But oh well.
Yeah. Oh well.
I'm pretty sure they are Manitoba made moccasins. I got them from my mom. They're hand-me-downs. They're quite worn out, but they're very comfy and they're extra warm. The new pineapple flavored bubbly is pretty delicious. This is not an ad.
I was excited to try these. I saw them on your studio table the other day and there weren't any in the fridge, and I was a little disappointed. But when I went back there today, there they were. But you know what? We have so much more interesting things to talk about than what's in the fridge. So this morning, I asked Roberta for some inspiration. I said, "Hey, what, Joey and I are going to go sit like idiots in front of our telephones and talk to the internet for an hour, like we do every Saturday afternoon. What should we talk about?" And she put on a series of podcasts from Death, Sex, and Money. Have you heard that podcast? It's fantastic. I think it's a WNYC thing. Anyways, it's really, really good. A great interviewer. And we listened to an interview with John Prine before he died. Duh. And listened to an interview with Jason Isbell and Amanda Shires, and also listened to one with Bill Withers.
Oh, cool.
And the Bill Withers one was so badass.
Oh, yeah.
It's really, really inspiring.
Everything Bill Withers has done in his life and career is pretty cool.
Yeah. I was pretty put back. I love Bill Withers' music, but hearing a little bit about his story was really fascinating. I'm just looking at the comments. Somebody noticed the dual SM7s really stepping up in the world. I'm a little distracted by that, but awesome.
Nice.
Thanks for noticing. Yeah, the interview with Bill Withers was so badass because his story is a little different than most folks, and he's so practical. He's so down to earth about the whole thing.
Yeah,
like it's just, to him it was so cut and dry. Like, do the things you're really good at, work really hard, you got to make it happen. But he was also like, when he got the call, what was it? It wasn't the Dick Cavett show, was it? It was like, got the call to go on TV, Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
And it was literally, he got the call the same day that he was going to go back to work. Like I think he says, I'm going to go drive rivets or something like that. Like, he was ready to go back and slug it out. And that was sort of the moment that he realized he'd make a shift. But he was in his 30s.
Yeah, right.
By the time his career kicked off.
Yeah. What was the first big hit?
I don't remember what the first big hit was, but I know that he did a record with T-Bone Burnett. No, Booker T. I get my T's mixed up.
Don't mix up your T's. Those are different T's.
Those are considerably different people. No, he did a record with Booker T.
And the MGs, or just Booker T?
No, just Booker T producing. I don't know who was in but that what would have ostensibly been his first record. I mean, I love his music. I don't know the history or the catalog of it intimately.
Yeah.
But I just loved hearing how practical his approach was to everything.
Yeah.
And he saw himself as a songwriter, not a performer.
Right.
He really did. Like, he talked about his, it's a short podcast. It's like maybe half an hour, 40 minutes. And he talks about his career. He's just like, I'm a songwriter. I get paid. I go down to the mailbox and get paid. That's how it works. I don't go on. I didn't want to go on a tour. He had started his family, and he's like, I didn't want to.
Yeah.
It's like, I couldn't raise my kids if I was in Philadelphia one night, London the next night. So that was really inspiring to me. And I thought maybe we just sort of riff on the fact that, like, you're going to be a dad in 3 weeks. And, like, we're also in the middle of a pandemic, but, like, there's, like, oh, Dave needs a touch more gain. You know what? Thanks, Daddy. I'm going to just sit a little closer to the microphone. Let me know if that's a little better. But yeah, let's just talk about that. Like, how do you feel, man? You got a kid coming in 3 weeks. Your life's going to be so different.
Well, I don't know. It's
like, a lot to dump on you.
Yeah. And I mean, what I do know is that I'm excited. I do know that I cannot wait to look at this kid and meet this kid and figure out what my role is going to be in their life, and watch my wife become a mom, and keep it together, Landreth. Keep it together. It's pretty inspiring, but I don't know how my life is going to change because I don't think there's any way to know what, like, is my kid going to be healthy? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, the doctor says that they're a good weight, and that's all we know. And we talked about this, I think, a little bit last week, where I heard somebody say, like, yeah, I used to say, I don't care what it's a girl or boy as long as they're healthy. And then until you have a kid that's not healthy, that's really been on my mind. And not in a worrisome way, but just like a, it's possible. And so I'm kind of like, I'm thinking about that, and just like, I really don't know. how my life is going to change. I know I'm excited for it, but I can't even, like, I'm not ready. Like I'm ready to welcome change, but I have no idea what's going to change, you know? And I've watched you and Roberta, you know, fall feet first into parenthood, and so gracefully so. But, and even though, like, I feel like I've been pretty close to your parenthood, I still also don't know what that was like. You know, I've watched certain changes in you. I've watched your priorities shift, and I've gotten a real kick out of, like, what that looks like in your everyday life. Like, now that Dave's a dad, you don't have time for horse shit. And I think it's not
so
because
true.
like, it's not because anything has changed, other than you literally do not have time for it.
Yeah.
And that has been really funny and sometimes frustrating, but mostly really funny to watch happen.
Yeah, sure.
And so I'm kind of like, I know that that's going to happen for me too, and I just don't know what that's going to look like. And like, am I worried about some things? Like, maybe a tiny bit. Like, I just don't know how my relationship to work is going to change, because I love what I do.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm just kind of like standing here, kind of like this. Like, I feel very calm. I feel very zen, just knowing that I have to, like, I have no choice, because I'm a pretty anxious person, like, in my normal life, or certainly in my past life, but it's something I've been working on really hard to kind of, to get on top of, and just be aware of at the very least. And what I'm really surprised about is that I'm not anxious.
Right.
And I'm just kind of like, well, I have no, like, I don't even know what I could be anxious about. You know what I mean? There's so many unknowns that I'm like, I can't even begin to speculate what I should be anxious about. And then for some reason, I'm not anxious about it. You know, just like, I know everything's going to change, and my life is going to become a really weird place. And then all of a sudden there's going to be like, where there was not a person before, there will be. Like, it's binary. Like, there's no kid, and then Anna's going to deliver the baby, and then there is a kid. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know how any of that's going to feel, but I can't wait.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
super excited.
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, yeah. You can't. I mean, my anecdotal experience of it is just, you can't prepare yourself for it. You just experience. But that's one of the things that I'm so excited about. I mean, you've been such a huge part of Bert and I's story. You guys have been such a big part of our lives. Obviously, we're really close. I think everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you're right. You can only share so much of it. You know, you guys have been there for a lot of these moments. You've helped us through so much of it, but I'm really excited to like see how we connect different dad to dad, because I know my relationship with dad changed with having a kid. I had this sudden insight, you know, like,
Yeah.
that I could not have, no matter how much I loved him, no matter how close we are. I didn't understand what it was to be a dad until I was a dad.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel closer to him because of that, because we have the shared experience, and all the other dads that I know.
I feel like, and I had this moment of like, I feel like a tiny flash of awareness when I was thinking about my baby growing in my wife's belly. I'm thinking about this person who's like already has preferences. And there was something about, like, it was like, because Anna was saying, yeah, when I touch my belly this way, the baby responds. But when you touch my belly, the baby does not. So the baby already likes mom better than me. And like, and I mean, and the funny thing is, that doesn't bother me. I'm not like, you know, I've often thought, like, well, if my kid's a mama's boy, or mama's girl, or mama's person, like, is that going to bother me? And in that moment, when I realized, like, well, right now, this little person is a mama's person, and I'm totally cool with it.
Yeah.
But I had this moment of clarity where I think I understood for just a split second, and then it kind of fleeted. But I understood for a second that, oh shit, our parents are people, just like I'm a person. And you just, like, you cannot ever have that perspective as a kid, as a child of someone.
No.
You cannot ever not see them as your parent. And I had this like crazy like moment of clarity where I was like, this person will never know me. Like, they'll know me, but they'll never not know me as their dad. And that was just like,
boing.
You know, in the same way that I'm like, I know my parents, I know them really well, and I know, I know this about them and I know that about them, but like what I know about myself and the experiences that I've had, there are lots of experiences that mom and dad have had that I don't know anything about. And there was like, I mean, it sounds so obvious to say it out loud, but like the concept of like your relationship to someone, to your parent, is compartmentalized in a way that you can't ever separate, I don't think. Like you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and I don't necessarily like, I don't have an answer. I don't think it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just sort of contemplating what it's going to be like to be someone's father. And it's like, it's blowing my mind.
Yeah.
It is blowing my
and
mind.
it will continue to, like,
Yeah.
and no matter what you think now, as long as we have similar experiences. And I think, and it's really fun. I'm loving this. I'm watching in the comments section all the dads and the moms, all the parents weighing in on it, and it's really beautiful. And I think everyone will agree with me, those that have kids, that like whatever you anticipate, it is so far beyond your ability to even imagine the feelings
Yeah.
that are coming your way.
Yeah.
You can't. It's a color you haven't seen yet. You
Mm.
didn't know existed. It's off the spectrum.
Yeah.
And the thing that I really took away from parenthood, or have taken away so far, is that like the difference between the kind of love that you have for your kid is truly unconditional, which is so interesting because I've used that word so much in my life to try and describe relationships and the love that I have for people in my life, platonic love, friends, romantic,
Partners,
family.
Yeah.
But it's not. I've learned it's like, oh no, all of that is very conditional love. That love is conditional on a certain
mutual respect, and
mutual respect. Like if you continue to abuse me very badly,
I can't love you. I can only love you this much.
Yeah, the way I love you is going to change how I love you. But like that kid, I think you will discover. Again, I don't want to put it on you because I'm also curious.
There's only one person that you will let barf into your mouth and also punch you in the eyes, and you're still like, wow,
I love you so much.
You're great.
And I understand even from this moment that it's like, no matter what happens to you, no matter the worst thing that you're capable of in your entire life, no matter how far down you fall, if whatever your rock bottom looks like, may you be spared from anything really horrible. But whatever your life is, like, I will love you no matter what, no matter what. And it's a guarantee from this moment forward. I just know that, like, it's an absolute axiom. It's a rule of the universe. And I think, and it's like, oh, I get it. That's what unconditional love is. And it doesn't need to be reciprocated. If this kid that I have, if Finn hates me, if we have some sort of schism in our relationship, and he, like, God forbid, I don't think it's going to happen, but if he did, I would still continue to love him. It is not at all conditional on his
reciprocity.
Yeah, thank you. So
yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. I was going to say something and then I lost it.
Oh well,
it'll come back. Let's see what folks are saying. A color that you haven't seen. Judy Rose really like that. Yeah, I like that too. The best feeling is sharing the stage with your daughter/son. Well, I only know that experience from the other side, sharing the stage with my dad, and that's a pretty cool feeling.
That is very powerful.
But I bet you it does not beat playing music with your kids.
Yeah.
And yeah, who knows?
I mean, even the experience that I've had, like, we've bonded over music a handful of times now, Finn and I. We listen to a lot of music, obviously.
Yeah.
That won't be a surprise. And we play music together. He comes up into my office and beats the rat shit out of all my instruments, which, he's the only person who can treat my guitar like that. And
he stands on it.
I don't slap bass very often, but he does. And yeah, it just makes all this racket. But we're playing music together and we're bonding. And then, like, we have these moments when I'm like, oh, we're actually, like, we're exploring sound and music together. And I'm like, whoa, that's heavy. And, like, yeah, what would it be like? I don't know if he's going to be a musician. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
He definitely loves music. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
He likes Ray Charles, and we love Ray Charles in our house. That's Anna and I fell in love to the music of Ray Charles.
He also really loves the Beach Boys,
which is dope.
Yeah. He's
Pet Sounds, what a record.
An adventurous sense of harmony.
Yeah. Meg says, E asks Tom to sing more than she asked me. Maybe your kid will prefer Anna's guitar playing. You will still like them.
I don't know if people realize Anna's got a absolutely stunning music, like a stunning voice.
Yeah, she's got a really beautiful voice.
singing voice.
Yeah. And
So,
she's super crazy musical. Like
Yep.
it's like it's actually kind of nuts that she's not a musician, because her ears are heavy. Like she has really, really heavy ears. A lot of times, like because she's not burdened by being a professional, I feel like she has this really great perspective, because she can still listen to music without criticizing it.
Yep.
But she also has these crazy ears. So she is a very, very important sounding board for me.
Yeah.
Like I played her one of the rough mixes of one of the tunes we're working on, and she was like, yeah. I was like, this is one of my favorite songs. And you're just like, yeah. She's like, it's not done yet. It just needs something else. I was like,
do you know how much we pay people to tell us that?
I was like, no, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's not done yet. And I was kind of sitting there going like, I think maybe this song is done. She was like, no, it's not done. So,
there you go.
It just needs some more. I don't know. That's really cool.
Cool question on the right here in Instagram. Lewis is asking, will you want your kids to be musical, or will you be sad if they're not into music? We'll each take a stab at it. We'll see who has a better answer. You can vote in the comments, and then we'll decide who the better brother is.
Yeah, I really don't care. Like I really don't care. Music is obviously very, very important to me, and if my kid loves music, then cool. If they want to play guitar, they have a really, really beautiful guitar collection.
Yeah.
And a great pedal collection, a great amp collection.
Yeah, we'll inherit. But you know what? They won't. If they play guitar, they're going to want shredder guitars.
God forbid.
And they're going to want a triple rectifier and a 412. Yeah,
Yeah.
You guys won't be sharing gear.
Oh, Dad, your Two-Rock's so old. Do you know how much that was worth back in my day? You little shit. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because I think like there's a lot of like, especially because we're family and we make music together. I think there feels like there's a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, even people jokingly say like the Cousins Ladrith and stuff like that, which I think is cute. But I'm so curious to just see who my kid is, you know? And I'm not too worried about them following in my footsteps. You know, I followed in Dad's footsteps. I loved music from before I can even remember anything else.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, there was so much music in our house, and it was just a language that I spoke, or not spoke, but understood and connected with. And that was my personal experience. But I'm just super curious to see who this kid is. And so but I don't care. Like if they're not into music, like Murray talks about his kids, and they're just really not super interested in music. And I've got a lot of professional musician friends whose kids just don't give a shit about what they do.
Yeah.
And they don't care. And I think that's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That's my thing. And like, I don't know. I just want my kid to do what they want to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't care if they play music. I have a very special relationship with music. It's been a really important part of my life. And I've had so many wonderful experiences. I've met so many great people, have found so much joy in my life because I get to play music. So would I want that for my kid? Yeah, I would hope that they find something that they love and can extract that kind of joy and exploration and sense of satisfaction from. But I do not care what it is. You know, I hope they find something.
Yeah.
Or a combination of things. Or maybe they're just, maybe Finn ends up just being like super ultra zen and can just pull all the happiness in the world out of a leaf falling out of a tree.
Yeah.
I just want for him the skills to have the opportunity to be truly satisfied if he chooses, when he chooses, because you're not happy all the time either. That's not life. You don't get to be happy all the time.
Yeah.
But I hope he's got the skills so that he can seize it when it's there.
Well, and I think interestingly, because I'm curious to see what kind of world we're living in at the time when our kids are kind of becoming, folks. When our kids are becoming like conscious people, because I think like our parents' generation and the generation before, like life has gotten, well, life is just different than it was. And I think that there is like this massive emphasis on like chasing your dreams and doing what makes you happy, because there was a like many generations, not so many generations ago, life was just hard, like for the majority of folks, like, and going to work meant putting in incredibly long, hard, laborious hours, and very few people got to sit behind desks. You know, it was like you know, life was hard. Like when you think about our grandparents when they came up, like our grandma was born during the Great Depression, like things were different, and things that people wanted were different. And then when they were coming out of those hardships, then it became important to be happy and find meaning. And now that we've kind of had like a couple of generations where people can chase their dreams and live these big dreams, I just wonder what's going to be important to our kids.
Yeah.
Because like maybe a life like I cannot for the life of me remember her name, but I got to share an airport shuttle with a very famous pop singer who kind of had her heyday in the 90s, and it was at Stanfest in Nova Scotia, and God, I can't remember her name. Anyway, I was on the same airport shuttle, and it was like a 4-hour drive, and she talked to me about, you know, she's had a completely different music career than mine. She's very famous and quite well off, and so going on the road was like taking her daughter with, and her, and so her daughter for the first 5 or 6, 7 maybe years of her life was on the road with her. And she said that we had this moment where we were in South Africa or somewhere far from home, and her daughter was like, "Mom, do you think it's better to always be away from home, or do you think it's better to always be at home?" And she was like, in that moment, I knew my daughter was telling me she wanted to go home. And like that me chasing my dreams was not her chasing her dreams. And she was like, and that's when I decided to pivot on how much I was traveling, because it was not making my quite young child very happy.
Yeah.
And she didn't have a choice. And that really hit me, because I was like, I know a lot of people would be like, how cool would it be to do your job or to be a kid on the road with their parents? And I always thought, yeah, it would be super cool. And we're definitely going to do some of that for sure.
Yep.
But in that moment was like, well, yeah, like her living her dreams, and she does it in a significantly easier way than we do it. Like she's got a team of people who take care of her, make sure that all of her stuff is packed in luggage, and all of her merch is picked up and counted. She doesn't have to do any of that stuff. She just gets on stage, puts on a killer show, and gets in the hotel shuttle and tells some random Canadian dude about raising her kids. So her experience is different than ours. And so I'm just like, I wonder, like, our kids, is it going to be the same kind of thing, or is it going to go to like, yeah, I don't want to live in the life. Like I watch my parents like kind of have a small amount of fame or well-knownedness, and I don't want that for my life. Or maybe my life is all about the time in between work. Our lives are a lot about the time at work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
And now that we have, our priorities are shifting a little bit, it's about making sure that we can make time for family, but still make time for work, because we love work. But maybe our kids are just going to be like, nah, that's not how I want to live my life.
Yeah.
So who knows? And that's what I want to leave room for. I just want to leave room for my kids to just totally figure it out on their own.
Absolutely.
And would I love to share music with my kids? Hell yeah. Absolutely. It's still the language that I speak the best.
I promise you though that no matter, like, I've already experienced this. I have a love and affinity for garbage trucks that is really come on late in life.
Hey guy, what's up, guy?
Welcome to the podcast, TV show, internet hangout with my buddies, Crowdy in the garage. Sorry, pardon me. Yeah, like whatever it is that Finn loves, I love. All of a sudden, he loves trucks. I'm really into trucks right now. I'm into front end loaders and bobcats and dump trucks, and the garbage truck is the most exciting part of the week. It comes
back up that dump truck, girl.
Disregard. The garbage truck comes at 8:30 on Friday mornings, and it's a big deal in my house.
Hell yeah.
It's a big deal. So whatever it is, you will share that joy. And I'm like, I've talked to friends of ours whose kids go through phases where they're like, for like a year straight, they only want to talk about dinosaurs. You're like, yeah, you'll get tired of dinosaurs. But low key, you're going to love dinosaurs. You're going to see a dinosaur somewhere and be like, oh, shit. I better grab that. Better bring that thing home.
Stegosaurus.
Yeah,
Rex.
that's a really good Stegosaurus.
Yeah.
That's like really
Look at the
accurate
detail on the fins.
Yeah. I don't think they have fins. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of fun. Kids, right? And our kids are going to grow up together. They're going to be pals. Or mortal enemies.
Or mortal enemies, yeah.
We liked all of our cousins. We got along great with our cousins.
There was not a cousin I did not like.
Yep, true. So here's hoping.
There you go. Dima Murney has asked this question a couple times. We should get to it. How do you guys develop musical ideas and make arrangements in the studio? Your vocal harmonies are so dope. Thank you.
Hey, cool.
You know, Dave and I subscribe to a philosophy called play in the sandbox. And, you know, it really, like, I think of, how can I put this? Think of an idea as a loose thread on a sweater. You start picking at it and the sweater starts to unravel. Sometimes the sweater unravels in a way you don't want, and then you have to start a new sweater and pick a different thread. But it's really just about chasing an idea down. And sometimes they're great and sometimes they're not. And songwriting is kind of the same. It starts with an idea, and you just, for us, like, if we're writing a song, we want to develop the idea, we want to develop the story. So it's like, this lyric, what does it mean? Who is it for? And whose story is it telling? And, we started writing a song a couple weeks ago with Murray, and we got like halfway through it and we're just like, I don't think this story needs to be told.
Yeah.
And so we were just like, yeah, I
abandoned ship.
I think we're doing a good job of writing a song. I just don't like the song. And so sometimes that happens, but I think we've talked about this before on the show, Karate in the Garage with Brothers Landreth every Saturday afternoon. Hey. Ting. We'll Photoshop in a little bing. We've talked about this before, but if you abandon the idea that an idea has to turn into something good, if you have the expectation that an idea needs to yield great results, then you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. You just it's the act of creating that's the important part. And the more and more you do it, first of all, the odds go up that you're going to come up with good ideas. And then you also build the skill. You start to learn your own sort of things. Like, I know if I hear a certain guitar sound in my head, I've messed around enough with guitars and pedals and now microphones and stuff to know how to get the sound that I want to hear. And sometimes it takes a little more work. Sometimes I have to try, oh, that reverb's cool, but it's not cool enough. Let's try this one. Or maybe we need a little extra this on that or whatever. You start to develop a bit of a vocabulary, but it's only through the exploration that you do that. So, I would challenge you to just play in the sandbox, and there's a lot of great resources online for helping develop ideas, but I don't think there's anything better than just playing in the sandbox. Maybe it's not a sandbox for you. Maybe it's the bathtub like it is for Finn. Yeah. But just play.
Yep, I agree. And I like the imagery of tearing apart a sweater and then you'd be like, oh, now I just have all this yarn, and you'd be like, what? How does that relate to songwriting? And I'm like, I don't know. What time is it? I don't even know what day of the week it is.
Right.
And then I'm like,
yes, they do.
Where am I? What happened? I'm so tired, Joe. I'm so tired.
Dave is fathering, working on a record, and also 50-50 writing a record label with our manager Stu. So Dave is burning both ends of the candle at both times.
I'm just a big puddle of melting wax. Stu had a really funny comment earlier. He says on Instagram, as the default manager of those kids, I do hope they're musical, but we'll spoil them either way. But Loki is going to be pushing them towards performance opportunities. He's going to keep running offers by us. Like, I know it's not really a band, I know, but there's a really great thing going on. We could probably get $500 and
speaking engagement for Finley Landreth. Ba-boom, ba-ba-ba-ba-boom, bah, bah. Yeah, Finn. My favorite thing that Finn does is you can walk around with him and he'll point at stuff and you have to name it. So we'll go, what's that? It's a light. Who's that? That's Dad. What's that? That's a cat. But the way he asks questions is just by saying "ba," and it's so cute.
Yeah, it's the best.
Dima Murney, thank you guys. Been listening to your music since record one. Such a pleasure. Thanks for asking the question.
Good cue. I'm gonna go pull it.
When Tobin GB When will the Little Feat songs you recorded come out? Can't wait. Regards from Norway. Hope you'll visit Norway. Yeah. Would love to visit Norway. Got a good pal in Norway, Tora, guitar player. She's wicked. Would love to go to Norway. Have never been to Norway. Would love to do it. Watched Gordon Ramsay go to Norway on a TV show. It was pretty cool. Anyway,
you'll get there.
July, I think. I'm not going to commit to a date because there's a lot of things that have to happen before we can commit to a date, but we are aiming at July.
That's awesome. It's such a good record. Everybody's going to love it. You're going to freak.
I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, it sounds wonderful. It's
Paul Yee mixed the absolute bejeebus out of that record.
There you go.
He mixed the house down. Boots the house down. Huh?
Yeah.
Did I use that right?
Here's a question from Anders. Anders Hallgren asks if you guys got the chance to write songs for anyone else in the business or someone close, who would it be? So, interesting question. Because I wouldn't want to write songs for somebody that I know is a brilliant songwriter. I'd feel sheepish. So I would go like somebody who I know is a fantastic vocalist, but doesn't necessarily write all their own music, or like definitely dabbles in outside songs. Maybe Bonnie Raitt. Maybe a song for Bonnie Raitt.
That'd be cool.
That'd be really badass. But I would like. There's so many great funky, like slinky badass Bonnie. I'd write a ballad.
Oh, that's the only thing I feel confident writing.
Yeah, I'd write a sad ballad for Bonnie Raitt. But even then, it's like, how do you
beat I Can't Make You Love Me?
Yeah,
like you can't beat that song.
Maybe Elton John.
I'm gonna say something. I don't want to write a song for somebody else.
There you go.
Yeah, I will say, like, I love writing songs. But I it's not my favorite thing in the world to do. You know, I struggle. Like writing songs is something that's very satisfying, but it's a challenge for me. I'm much more comfortable playing an instrument and doing stuff like that. So writing songs is I always feel a little out of my element.
Yeah.
Even when it's just you and I. You know, we have written songs with and for other people, and it's always really hard.
Yeah, it is.
And it's not like I feel like a good songwriter. I like my songwriting. I like our songwriting. I'm proud of the work that we've done, but like it's probably the hardest thing for me, at least right now. And maybe that'll change.
Yeah. I think it's okay to like, there are different types of songwriters, and
Yeah.
I've made my peace with the fact that I'm not a songwriter by vocation. I write songs for this band, exclusively. You know, I've written with other people. I've written on some records that I think are really great. I've been a part of some really cool songs that I'm proud of. But at the end of the day, yeah, like I'm not a songwriter, but I would still like to write a song for Bonnie Raitt. That'd still make me happy. I just don't know. I'd have to split the difference between something funky and a ballad because everything's too. I'll write a reggae song for her.
She kind of likes those feels.
She
really does. Meg says, "How big is your dream? No one can afford this giant band." I love you. I don't understand what you're saying.
Oh, I do.
Do
I
you?
get the question.
Okay.
Absolutely, Meg. Great question. So Meg's asking, if you had your druthers, what would be the dream band? As you could have as many people on stage as you want.
Oh.
Okay, I have two parts. I have two answers to that.
Okay.
One is that I actually love a 4-piece band. And so, but just so like the reality is I do think like a 4-piece band is some of my favorite, because you end up having lots of room to explore, because the bigger the band is, the harder it is to improvise. Don't tell Snarky Puppy that, obviously, but like I do find that like the bigger the band is, the more likely you are to fall into some arrangement stuff.
It's tougher to move as a unit the more people you put in the band. That's for sure. You have to make like, and Snarky Puppy does that so brilliantly, is they create all these really beautiful moments that are tailored for people.
Yeah.
But like, it's not like a 3-piece where you can literally start a song and wind up in a completely different place by the end.
Which is kind of,
who knows? Maybe you can. I've never played in Snarky Puppy. I'm not good enough.
You could if you want to.
I could write the charts.
You can write the charts.
Actually,
so I do love a 4-piece. I love a trio and I love a 4-piece, but like Dream Band, one drummer. I love 2 drummers, but I've always found it to be a little busy. Give me one drummer. Give me one like really heavy percussionist.
okay.
Give me somebody who's playing a whole mess of cool shit. You know.
Yep.
Give me a 3-piece horn section.
Okay.
Give me a trumpet, sax, trombone.
Okay.
Give me an aux guitar guy who's gonna just play cowboy chords on an acoustic guitar, maybe a little twinkly bits. But he's not very good. He's just good enough to hold on. Amazing singer though.
Okay.
Yeah. Give me one amazing piano player.
Okay.
And give me 2 dedicated vocalists. And then Joey and Dave. Am I missing anything?
No.
I don't know if somebody's counting, but that's like 45 people.
Yeah.
No strings. No strings. Nothing crazy like
Well,
that.
strings is pretty specific. I'm mostly with you.
Yeah. What's your dream band? It's my dream. It doesn't mean it has to be your dream.
Yeah.
Walk me through it.
Well, right now, so somebody to play all my guitar parts so I can just play Hammond all night.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I get a very deep satisfaction from playing whole notes with the odd little fill.
You just step out.
Yeah, just like, hey, just so you know, I know this chord. That's it. That's all I want to do.
Joe Walsh gets to do that a little bit when he sings songs in the Eagles. I've been watching live Eagles videos because
he plays Hammond B3 while somebody else plays his guitar parts?
he plays like the odd guitar part. When he sings a song, he basically he just gets up there and acts like a goof and then just like shreds for a minute.
Yeah, does a talk box solo. So I okay, yeah. So I mean, I'm half kidding about that. Obviously, I can't not play guitar in my own band.
This is your dream band. You can do whatever you want.
I feel like people wouldn't come see the show if I wasn't playing guitar.
Okay.
Which I understand, but it's not about you. What a dick. I don't think I would go with the horn section only because where would we put it? Like, you know, and you know, trumpet, sax, trombone. I feel like because a lot of our songs would need something a slightly more mellow complement.
Yeah.
Maybe flute. If I had to have horns, somebody was like, "No, it's got to be a horn section." I'd do like a great trumpet player who also plays flugel.
Yeah.
And trombone for sure, nice, soft. But I wouldn't have a horn section, so that doesn't matter. I would do 3 vocalists. So you have somebody who you have dedicated people who can do the 3-part stuff. No problem.
Yeah.
Everybody in the band sings.
Oh, I should have said that.
Everybody in the band sings.
You just beat me right there.
So that the 3 vocalists, whoever they are, can do all the the parts, and then between, you know, if you have keys, bass, guitar, drums, and everybody singing, then you've got 4 parts covered there, and then you know you can trade back and forth between who sings like the more adventurous parts or whatever. There's a lot of flexibility there. I've been thinking about the like if ever we can tour or do some video with the Lowell George thing, I probably am going to need at least 2 guitar players.
Put together a big band.
Yeah, I would do like just an obscenely big band, just for fun.
Yeah.
Everybody sings, 3 singers, percussion definitely. But you know what? Like, and I love percussion, and I love people who are very versatile. But like, I want somebody who plays the snot out of the tambourine. Honestly, like Paul Yee. Like a lot of people don't know this, but Paul Yee, our dear friend, engineer, he's collaborated with us on a bunch of music. Played bass in my band, in like my solo band a bunch. He's a brilliant musician. He plays all the percussion on all our records, except for Let It Lie, I guess. But and he is a badass. And I had the distinct pleasure of recording him playing percussion on the Lowell George project, and he one-taked everything.
Yeah, he's a monster.
His pocket is crazy. There's a reason why he's credited as Tambo Magic Yee. Okay. Anyways,
So so there's your big band.
there's the big band.
Two of the most satisfying.
Sean Watkins says a clarinet section.
A clarinet section. No, they didn't get the call. I'm really sorry to say. Two of the most fun. I'll just like straight up like giddy smile across my face gigs that I ever get the chance to do is playing a Paul Simon tribute band, where we basically have that band. There's four.
You got horns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got horns, a drummer, percussionist, keyboard, 2 guitar players, 4 singers. It is so fun.
Yeah, I bet.
It is so fun, and I love that music.
Yeah.
And then the other one is the Hot and Dirty Dance Party, where we mash together. It's a thing that we do in Winnipeg on occasion.
Yeah. So Dave and I used to have a house gig every other Tuesday night at a place called the Cavern.
Bi-weekly, which is the right amount of house gig. A bi-weekly house gig.
It's great.
Is the right amount. But even then, I got too old for it.
Yeah, and it was called. I mean, it still exists. I mean, not right now because nobody's doing anything. But Dr. Hot Bottom and the Soul Prescription. We've been playing in that band since I think it started when I was 22.
Yeah, over 10 years.
And we had a house gig for over 10 years, and then Todd, our sort of lead singer. I guess everybody sings, but Todd's kind of the lead singer of Hot Bottom.
Todd and Jason, yeah, they share.
Todd and Jason, yeah. Todd has a band called the Dirty Dozen. Nope.
Dirty Catfish.
Dirty Catfish. I'm sorry, guys. Dirty Catfish brass band. So we mash them together, and it's the Hot and Dirty Dance Party. Yeah. Hot Bottom, Dirty Catfish. Hot and Dirty Dance Party. And we mash both bands together. So we have Dave plays bass, but then we also have a sousaphone played expertly by Steve. Sousaphonist. Marine biologer. Sciencer. Doctist.
It's not a doctorer.
It all works.
Anyways, carry on.
Truck drivist. Steve Oberhoy plays the sousaphone. So there's 2 basses, 2 drummers, 2 guitar players, a schwack of singers, and basically like a New Orleans style horn section. It is so loud
and so fun.
It
is so fun.
Yeah.
What was the last one that we did? I think it was the New Year's Eve gig, maybe
2019, maybe.
Yeah.
Did we do it? Yeah.
Whatever that last gig was, some of the most fun I've had on stage in a long time. And the material is just like, it's so fun.
It's
Power, Sly and the Family Stone.
Yeah.
Ton of Prince, MJ, like it is just all
Rick James.
Oh, it's so fun. It's all my favorite stuff. A bunch of the Dirty Catfish originals. Yes, that's just sometimes the more musicians, the better.
Evan says we need a dedicated harmonicist.
I love playing harmonica.
Harmonica.
I miss that. I in a version of the band at one point, the set list had 2 songs where I got to play harmonica. I love playing harmonica.
What was the second song?
Nothing in Greenhouse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm never good at it, but I really love it. I think it's such a beautiful and emotive instrument.
Hey, Grant Fairstead from Perth. Hey man, hope you guys are doing all right in WA. I spent a lot of time in Perth in my life, and it holds a very dear spot in my heart.
Joey over on Instagram, B Trudel says, if you covered a Hendrix song, what would it be? I think Castles Made of Sand would sound great with Slide. Do you have a favorite Hendrix song?
I really love Axis Bold as Love.
Yeah, great track.
Yeah.
I like Third Stone for the Sun.
I really like that era of Hendrix. I love the guitar sound on that recording.
Yeah.
I don't know as much about Hendrix as I should. I mean, I'm a great lover, but I didn't. I just
that's very humble of you.
I'm a fantastic lover of James Hendrix. I'm also tired. I have no excuse.
You just need to go to bed earlier.
No, I go to bed early. I get 8 hours of sleep, which is actually new. I'm really getting 8 hours of sleep. I think it's because when my day is done, when I come home from the studio, I just sit on the couch and watch TV or play video games.
Yeah. That'll do it.
Man, our cat Floyd was trying to get treats out of the top shelf because that's where Daddy keeps the cookies. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to get treats out of the top shelf of our cupboard and fell out of it and really hurt himself, actually. So He's gonna be fine, but he was limping pretty good, and so we got to take him to the vet after this. I don't know why I'm telling you that.
Oh yeah, I mean, what is anything that we talk about worth saying? It's all nonsense.
Yeah, we're wasting everybody's time.
Yeah, well, we're wasting it together, right?
Yeah.
I thought for a sec that's kind of a cool segue potentially. Oh, Carrie wants to know. Better question. Carrie wants to know what video games you play, and then I'll jump on my segue.
Man, so I'm not like a nerd about it, but I really like zombie TV. I like The Walking Dead. I liked the 28 Days and the sequel 28 Days Later, whatever it was. I really love zombie movies. And I got into The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
And so I really like that game, and I beat them both, and I'm gonna play them again. They're so good.
There's got to be some other zombie games out there, but I guess
I'm sure. But that one is just like, it's realistic. It's like they capture. Well, obviously it's not realistic, but it's like, if this were ever to happen, they do such a good job of making you feel like it's real. And it's like the first game starts at the very beginning, and then you meet the characters, and then the first game goes 20 years later. So you're like 20 years into living in a post-apocalyptic zombie-infested world.
That's kind of a cool touch, because I feel like a lot of it happens like right afterwards.
But it's like these people are settled in, and then you meet characters that were born during the apocalypse. So there's these moments of like people saying like, oh, I've heard all about comic books, but I don't understand, like, why were people into them? You know, like, so there's just things like that where like you're like, yeah, right. If you were born after a zombie apocalypse hit, your perception of the world would be so crazy. And they do a really good job of sort of projecting the what if. And I really enjoy that. And the characters are really, really good. Like, that's something that I don't remember from like Sega Genesis days, of like one of the main characters in the second game.
Don't give any spoilers.
Something happens to them.
Very good.
And like it moved me to tears. It was just like, I can't believe I'm so invested in these video game characters. I care about them. I want good things to happen to them. And they do this amazing thing where they like, they sort of cast this narrative that one character is a villain and one's the good guy. But then halfway through the game, you start to play as the villain. And then you realize like, oh, this is super nuanced. Like, this person is not actually a villain. The other person's the villain. And then you keep kind of flipping roles. And then you just realize like, nobody is a good guy. And everybody is a good guy, and nobody's a bad guy. It's just, you're living in a zombie apocalypse, and it's crazy. That was a lot.
No, it's exciting. I can live vicariously through video game playing. I don't know when I'll get a chance to play video games again in my life.
Probably never again.
You got 3 months. You got 3 months of like early days baby where all they do is sleep in your arms and you don't have anything else to do.
And I just try not to drop my controller on the sleeping baby.
Yeah, don't drop the controller on the sleeping baby. I watched a lot of Netflix. You're going to play a lot of video games.
I don't know that I will, because I'm actually quite nervous about dropping my controller on the sleeping baby.
You'll do it in a way where the baby's like here and your controller's here. And you won't risk it.
I don't know.
You'll be fine.
I think I'll just be like this the whole time. Like, oh God, what do I do?
No, you'll like have the football hold down in no time.
Obviously, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remastered. I love Skate 3 for PS3, and I'm very excited that they're coming out with Skate 4 for PS4 and 5.
There you go.
God. So this is 30.
Anyways, you know what? So Karate in the Garage is an AMA style, if we haven't made that abundantly clear. As much as we sort of try and jump into this, having a rough idea, some things that maybe we're just going to talk about. Really, we're just shooting the breeze. What makes this interesting is answering your questions. So hit us up in the comments if there's anything you want to know.
There's
we're mostly open books, and if we don't want to answer your question, we'll just pretend we didn't see it.
That's rude.
It's true.
Kevin Bushy is a really dear old friend of mine who was the tour manager for Doc Walker when I was in Doc Walker.
Hey, Kevin. Yeah.
And he says, Joey, just curious, approximately, you spelled approximately incorrectly. How many times did you jump into Brad Mates' bunk wanting to snuggle? It is, I lost count. Brad Mates is the lead singer from Emerson Drive, also a good buddy. You know, he sends me a birthday wish on my birthday every year.
Get out of town. What a classy guy.
Such a classy guy. He
Not
must
like
have a
Kevin.
notification. Not like Kevin Bushy. Yeah, he only texts me when he wants something. I'm just kidding.
You know what we haven't done yet?
What?
We haven't wished Nell and Mably good night.
Nell, Mably.
Yeah.
It's bedtime, guys.
Mably. I don't know if you're probably not watching. Your dad's got the phone. Maybe he's watching in the background somewhere. But you guys, it's not quite bedtime because we're doing this a little earlier because my son's bedtime has changed.
Oh yeah, right.
So, like bedtime is in your near future. You guys are on UK time.
It's time to get your Jimmy Jams on. Maybe brush your fangs.
Brush your fangs, brush your teeth well, floss your teeth if you have teeth.
Take good care of your teeth.
Listen, here's the deal. If you brush your teeth but don't floss, it's like only wiping your bum cheeks after you go to the bathroom. You understand me? Let me hit you with that one more time. If you brush your teeth but don't floss, it's like wiping only your bum cheeks after you go number 2. Okay? Nell and Mably, please floss and start thinking about going to bed. And don't make your parents' lives difficult. Just cooperate. They want what's best for you. And
Meg Dolovich says,
feel great tomorrow.
Only floss the ones you want to keep.
Only floss the ones you want to keep.
These first 2 ones here are the only ones that you can see because of my mustache. So I guess I just floss those ones.
I saw
only wiping your bum cheeks.
I'm glad you like that.
Oh man, that's gonna have me laughing for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit us up with a few
what
more
do we
questions.
got here on Instagram?
If you're a zombie, Dan Messor says, if you're a zombie fan, you ever get into the Italian proggy band Yay soundtracked a bunch of George Romero films? The Goblins, I think they're called.
No, and I mean, I appreciate the tip, and I'll definitely check it out. Like I'm not like gonna go to Comic-Con kind of fan. I just love the format. So maybe I need to dig in deeper. Now's the time to get really into something niche.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
Badminton.
You could be a badminton star on TikTok. You could go do trick shots, badminton trick shots on TikTok.
Mike Carbone says, are you not only supposed to wipe the cheeks? Mike Carbone has played drums in our band in Brothers Landreth and also with me, and is a dear friend.
And now I'm worried about his hygiene.
Now I
think I'm going to burn the seats where you sat on tour, actually. Oh, sadly. Yeah, Mike, I don't know if you got the news, but our tour band is dead.
Well, we're going to take it for a second opinion and see if
Are we?
Yeah,
we should talk about that.
See if Yam Yee's mechanic, Paul Yee's dad, recommended a mechanic who is interested in looking.
Who's Paul Yee?
Paul Yee?
What is he? Who is he?
Shut your mouth. Paul Yee is.
I'm teasing you.
Paul Yee is our good friend. We've talked about him a bunch on the show.
That's why I'm teasing
you. I don't like it. Badmintonist.
Badmintoner.
What about badmintonist?
Badmintist. I love badminton. I love playing badminton.
Yeah, it's fun. You're a brutal cheater, but
we did a family cabin getaway.
Now Mike's stool smells like stool.
Who said that?
Why did we open up the poop joke?
Why did we do that? Who
Floodgates.
said that?
Sean Watkins. I mean, it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
It's. We're getting people chiming into the comments with.
I love it. We've started a movement.
This is if you play badminton, the thing that you smash around the birdie is also known as a shuttlecock. And somebody who said it? It's
Danimal.
It's a Danimal says it's. Oh boy. Anyways, okay. Well, the potty humor is easy pickings.
I'm here for it.
I am too.
Okay, what else we got?
On potty training, here's Ben coming in with his nugget of wisdom. I'm sorry, guys. Ben Kirkham, whose kids we tell to go to bed every time we do this on Saturdays, says, in relation to hygiene tips from Dave, I once heard a parent responding to their child's question of how much toilet paper they need, saying 2 pieces, 1 to wipe, 1 to shine. Oh boy. Okay, enough. what I was going to say is that we had a cabin. We went on a cabin trip, both for our families, and the place we were staying, they put up a badminton net. We fashioned a badminton net out of rope and towels that we strung between chairs.
We walked uphill to school both ways.
But there was a badminton set, and we played some epic badminton tournaments, like really sort of shoestring badminton tournaments. It was a blast.
Yeah.
We played badminton all weekend. I loved it.
And you're a damn cheater.
And I might just be a little more talented than Joey when it comes to badminton, and that's fine because we share different skills.
Impossible.
That's impossible.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Joe, those pedals behind you.
What about them?
Sengo Dave. Sengo Dave says those pedals behind you. Any that you especially love. You want to shine a little light on a pedal that jumps out at you today? What's the last pedal you used? Let's go with that. I put everything away. Sorry.
The last pedal I used
is probably right over there.
No.
On the table.
Well, the last pedal that we used on the record was. Oh, mercy me.
Easy now. Don't break a hip, Grandpa. What you got? What you got? What you got?
Oh, God.
That's going to be so noisy.
Well, it's fine. Just for the folks listening to the podcast at home, I just gracefully descended into my chair. Chase Bliss Therme was the last pedal.
Cool. What does it do?
So it's an analog delay pedal that does cool pitch shifting if you want it to.
Yep.
And they do that by modulating the clock, I believe, or something. Ask Joel Cordy. He knows because he made it. But it's just a beautiful, beautiful analog delay. It's what we used on. We use it on everything. We like whenever there's delay that goes onto a guitar, like as a part of the sound. This is the first one that I reach for, and I just love the tonal quality of it. And it kind of can get a little lo-fi sounding, which I really, really like. I'm actually not a super big fan of very clean delay.
Okay.
I like it to be a little dark. I like it to be a little wobbly. Wobbly Landreth. Hey.
Yo, Dad, that's for you.
That's a shout out to the original Father Landreth. Yeah, and I love this pedal. I love this pedal so much. I love everything Chase Bliss makes. Like sometimes you plug into a pedal and you just go, I like everything about this, and their stuff is like that. Like
you and a lot of people.
Me and a lot of people.
Yeah.
They just do it. They do it right. And there's you can save presets on it because all the controls are digital, but the whole circuitry and all the audio stuff is analog. So it's just organic sounding, and because it is.
And it's deep. Like every one of those pedals has a bit of a learning curve to it.
They can, if you get involved with the dip switches and all that stuff, but also you can just turn some knobs.
Yeah.
But it's pretty great. So. Yeah, I love this thing. This thing.
I'm going to say a few more questions and then we'll wrap this thing up.
Sounds great.
Okay. Chris Sampson, hey Chris, asks, what's your favorite topping on porridge? Question coming from someone in Glasgow.
Oh, yeah, this is a bit of a throwback to the Glaswegian porridge debacle.
Mm-hmm.
When we toured in the UK for the first time as the Bros, and Daryl Havers, our dear buddy Duke, was playing keys, he and I went for breakfast at this place, and it was literally the best porridge I'd ever had in my entire life. So good that Duke actually ended up calling them months later and just being like, "Hey, listen, I live in Vancouver, Canada. I'm not gonna put you out of business. How do you make that?" And they said there's a brand of Scottish porridge that you have to get, and then you just basically boil it in whole milk, and it's really delicious.
Yeah, we went back there.
And they didn't have it on the menu. For shame.
Yeah.
Little maybe some nice fruit, maybe a green apple sliced finely, and some cinnamon and some brown sugar.
Right on.
I would like that.
I like it just straight. I like it kind of boring.
You're kind of boring.
Yeah. Thanks. That hurts, but thanks.
Well, what's a brother for?
Somebody asked what my favorite bass is a while back. I think it was Evan.
What's your favorite bass, Dave?
Well, I'm going to see if I can find the question so that I'm not speaking out of turn. Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's Anders. We answer Anders. Anders asks a lot of questions that we end up answering. I don't mean to cherry pick your questions, but I guess I do. I guess I am. What's my favorite bass? My red bass, my red Fender. That was my dad's bass.
Yeah.
It's just that instrument. It's just comfy on me. I know it. I love it. It sounds great. It's a dear old friend. We've been through a lot together. I equally love my Mulan and my Duesenberg bass. They do very different things.
Yeah.
So they don't vie for each other's affection or for my affection. They just get it for they just do supremely different things.
Yep. It's like, if you want this sound, grab this one. If you want that sound, grab that one. It's not like one's better than the other, and I only play this one because I feel bad.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. And when we're on tour, I play them both randomly. I just turn around
just based on what you're feeling in the moment.
Yeah, I love that. I just grab one because they both work perfectly well for what we do. And it's the bass. Nobody can tell the difference. It all sounds like bub 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 bub.
It's just like
Sean doesn't even have me in the mix, anyways.
Yeah, you're that's so not true.
He'd be
loud.
so upset. He'd be so upset to hear
that. Somebody just said really quickly, but the foot switch tightness really isn't an issue on those. You're talking about the Chase Bliss pedals. I've never had a problem, but I also don't have humongous feet, so I do actually very often just control these guys, especially during a show with a MIDI controller. So I'm very rarely actually stomping on the stomps, and when we use them in the studio, it's often on the desk. So I'm doing this, but I have put together like a quick and dirty pedal board just for a random show. I've never had an issue with that.
Maybe if you have big skis.
That's what I was kind of saying. Maybe I'm just too damn nimble on these feet. I'm like a ballerinist.
You're too slight of foot.
You hear that, ballerinist?
Balleriner.
A balletist.
Ballayer. I like the way this is going.
Yeah.
Joe, do you have a favorite trim these days?
Favorite trim?
Yeah. It says this is for Michael on Instagram.
Yeah. Man, the new jam pedals trim that the pedal show fellas put together is so good.
Oh yeah, you're really happy about that. It looks beautiful.
It's gorgeous, and the jam pedals. I actually don't know anybody from over there, but they make really great pedals.
Yeah,
really,
you're sure
really,
that there's nice people behind.
really. I know because what Dan and Mick have said.
Yeah.
But the Harmonious Monk, it's called, and it does harmonic trim really, really well, and it's analog. I'm quite sure, but then it also does amplitude trim, which is kind of more reminiscent to bias trim that you'd find in like a Silverface Super or whatever, and it's really gorgeous, and it's got tap tempo and subdivisions and stuff, so you can really kind of tweak it, and some tonal control as well, which is really nice, especially with the harmonic trim, because depending on your rig, if you're not careful, it can kind of sound a little univibey, which is not a bad thing, but it's not what I want when I want to hear a harmonic trim. I want it to be the right thing.
Otherwise you'd get the
my favorite thing that's not a pedal is the harmonic trim in the Victoria Reverberamo. And that will be kicked to second place once my 2-Rock comes up.
Because it
has harmonic and bias trim. Shut the front door.
That's so cool. I can't wait.
Yeah, me too.
Keith Wilkinson, hey Keith, is asking, octave or octavist pedal. That's cute. I know you use.
Man, we should make you a signature octave pedal called the Octavist.
The Octavist. That'd be funny. Who's down?
Dr. Octavist.
Dr. Octavist.
Oh, I'm gonna talk to somebody and see if we can make that happen.
Yeah. Favorite octave pedals. I'm really kind of dumb when it comes to pedals. I plug into the first thing that works is usually the thing that sticks on my board, and that's what happened with that. It was the first octave pedal that I had. I borrowed my dad's OC2.
Might have even been an OC1.
Yeah, it was his OG octave pedal from the 80s or 90s probably, and I borrowed that and thought it was cool, and then wound up getting the Aguilar one and plugged into it, and I like it. I think you can spend a lot of time chasing other sounds, but it works for me. Good question, Joe. I think people are like, "What? You got a signature amp from 2-Rock? What's that about?"
Oh,
what are you gonna talk about that?
I posted about it a little bit, and it was really funny because I posted. I was deliberately kind of clandestine about it. Did I use that right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, And I posted a video of just playing like a little lick with harmonic trem and then reaching over and turning off the deep switch on the amp because it's a prototype. So we used a chassis from a different amp, so it's labeled wrong. And people were like, "How'd you get the deep switch to turn off your tremolo?" I was like, "Well, it's because it's not a deep switch." I was like, "Use your imagination." I was very cryptic about it, but yeah. So we're working on an amp with 2Rock, and it sounds really, really great. It sounds really great. It's the clean channel is or there's only it's only a clean channel, and it's very, very pedal friendly. Sounds killer on its own. Amazing reverb. And it's kind of like the preamp is modeled after my my Bloomfield with a couple of little changes. And then harmonic tremolo and bias tremolo added, and it's just fantastic. The Eli and everybody at 2Rock, it's a dream. So that I'm not sure when it'll come out, but it'll be coming. It's coming.
Get yourself a 2Rock. Your life will be better. You'll be taller. Money will fall from the sky.
Well,
no, the other way. Money will disappear from your wallet. Catherine Rowe, 470 4741. Must be a lot of Catherine Rose on Instagram, I
guess,
for you to get all the way to 4741.
4,741
at least. You guys have been to Carter Guitars in Nashville.
Yes.
What would your dream guitar be from that store?
From that store?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's hard to answer.
Yeah, sure. Okay,
I mean, and vintage guitars are tough because, like, sometimes somebody's like, "Oh, there's a great blah 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 at Carter,"
yeah,
and you go and go, "Eh."
Okay, let's say roughly would it be like a pre-war Martin? Would it be?
Oh yeah,
like a burst? Like let's open it up to say like any vintage instrument, and we're making the assumption that said instrument would be an incredible specimen.
I would go pre-war Martin. I really would, because, you know, I've played a lot of vintage guitars and a lot of vintage amps, and the reality with them is some of them are incredible, some of them are not. But there's a part of me that's like, if somebody were to be like, "Don't worry about it, I'll pay for it, I'll buy you a burst," how could you ever take that on the road?
Yeah, good point.
You couldn't. It would literally be a liability, and we couldn't afford the insurance on it, you know. So that it just would be a waste. And I love my Sorokin, and I have a locker of guitars that I absolutely love and reach for all the time. And so I kind of don't really want for a badass electric guitar, but a pre-war Martin. I mean, my Collings, I have I'm in possession. It's not mine. I'm in possession of an OM1, which is like one of the nicest sounding acoustic guitars I've ever played, and the only one that beats it is an actual pre-war Martin that I played. Will Gregg from Lehman Drug Company has an amazing pre-war Martin OM, and it was like, oh, okay, now I understand what the fuss is about, because it's just everything about it was perfect.
Yeah.
So that's probably what I would do. And compared to something like a burst, not that crazy. I mean, still way out of my price range, but not that crazy.
I would get a pre-war BC Rich.
Shut your mouth and get out.
7-string.
Get out.
Bass and mandolin.
Get out.
Bass neck on top, mandolin.
Pre-Cold War. Get out.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I would love for you to have a pre-war Martin. I might play it a little bit.
Jason Isbell would like a word. What do you mean? He can afford to travel with a burst. Yeah. I can't. Man, I live in a van. Do you guys realize that? We live in a van.
I think Carrie asked earlier, and we didn't get to the question.
Bill Kowski?
Yeah, and he asked, he says Hamer Slammer. A pre-war Hamer Slammer.
Hammer.
Carrie was asking earlier about the McConnell that you have. You have a beautiful, beautiful McConnell.
Yep.
I don't know why I know this. What did I see it recently? It must have been on Instagram or something. But somebody was posting about it. Jordan is now switched over. Jordan McConnell is an incredible luthier. Built you an electric guitar.
Incredible guitar.
But is known for his acoustic guitars. And I noticed that he's moved into a new shop. I fell down a bit of a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Jordan's a good buddy of ours. You guys have been very tight over the years.
Yeah.
Very good buddy of yours. Good buddy of mine.
Yeah.
And he's moved to a new shop. Apparently, he's
Mhm.
moved into a bigger shop.
Well, he built a shop in his
Built a shop,
backyard.
okay.
Yeah.
And he's no longer building to order. He's just building. It's pure art now.
Oh, good for him.
He is building just the guitars that he wants.
So cool.
And I saw, so the post was here's this new guitar up for sale, and it's like he sent it down to, I think, North Carolina.
Yeah, keep talking.
And it was like $30,000.
Yeah.
And the next day it was sold.
So I guess now's a good time to ask for a loan.
Yeah. You gonna show it off a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why don't we'll show this guitar off, and then we'll wrap up this week's episode of Karate in the Garage. With
yes.
I haven't seen you play this guitar in a little while, but my God, is it a stunner?
It is. Well, and I'll tell the story about it a little bit.
Sure.
And
you know what? I gotta hold on a sec. Let me just.
Oh, she's a little dusty.
Let me just dust that puppy off. That's a Norwex dust cloth. If you need Norwex stuff, you can reach out to my mother, Darcy Michaels, on Facebook. She'll take your order for antimicrobial cloths.
It's actually like salt from the humidifier. I got to start using.
You got to use.
I got to start using distilled water.
Yeah,
but
no joke.
This thing was on the road with us for quite a while.
Yes.
Yeah. This is the guitar that I played on I Am the Fool. Actually, I played a different McConnell on I Am the Fool, but it's basically the same.
Yeah, you were playing that one
thing.
until did you put a dent in the one that he lent you or something like that?
No, I dropped this one.
You dropped this one
and
yes.
Shattered the top, and it just
You just got it and then it broke. Now I'm remembering.
Yeah, so you can see he repaired it. So he's such a fine woodworker. It's crazy, but yeah, I don't know. This thing it's incredible, and it's built like an acoustic guitar, I believe, using a lot of like acoustic guitar techniques, and it's incredibly vibey and resonant, and
gorgeous.
I love it, and I really ought to play it more because it's gorgeous. It sounds incredible.
Maybe that'll be that'll be your inspiration. Play more, folks. We're gonna wrap it up, I think. What do you think?
Yeah.
Happy day. Happy Saturday, everybody. Cheers.
Let me cue up the music here.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to you, ma.
Thanks everybody for joining us today, and sorry if we didn't get to your questions this time around. Please come hang out with us anytime on Saturdays.
Yeah, for sure.
Around 12:30 p.m.
Dang it. Oh,
you'll get it.
Heavens to difficulty.
You got to. We got to pull up our Joey composed our theme song, and it's got some sweet bass fills.
Yeah, check these
bass fills. And then I rock
out
to it.
We have been
and shall continue to be
the Brothers Landreth. Joe, Dave Landreth. Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Karate in the Garage. It has been and will remain. Why am I saying this again? February 20th, 2021, until it's not anymore. See you next week, folks. I'm a big idiot. It's not this fill, but it's the next one.
That's a great fill. Are you kidding me? That's a ridiculous fill.
I didn't play it.
I didn't expect it.
I did play it on guitar, though.
See you later, folks. It's been a slice.